Okay, here we are back with Encanto, and we are up to chapter 12. We're getting into the exciting part, I can tell. I'm really eager to find out whether Bruno's coming back. Chapter 12. Thunder rumbled and lightning flashed throughout the Encanto. Mirabel followed the rats. They would lead her to answers. She just knew it. She pursued them along the upper walkway of the house. She was closing in when, after turning a corner, they vanished. Mirabel looked around for any sign of them. She heard a noise and caught a glimpse of a single rat tail disappearing through an opening under a large painting. Mirabel cautiously approached it. She studied the frame and then slowly pulled it open like a door, revealing a secret passageway within the walls of their house. She stepped through the passageway to find that, although it was murky, she could see the walls were covered in creepy cracks. They seemed to move across the walls, undulating as if alive. A rat carrying a vision shard scurried past Mirabel's feet and into the darkness. She watched the green glow retreat into the empty space and then float up as if someone were lifting it. Mirabel squinted to get a better look at a form taking shape in the green glow of the shard. Oh, she's seeing a vision. Crack! A bolt of lightning lit the room and revealed Bruno. He held a rat in his hand and took the shard from it. Mirabel and Bruno stared at each other for a second, and then, in another crack, he was gone. His shadow streaked down a corridor. She couldn't let him go. This was her only chance to learn the truth about the vision. She raced after him. "Stop!" she shouted, running down the winding corridor, keeping up with every tight corner and unexpected drop. Meanwhile, in the other side of the passageway wall, in Tia Peppa's room, Camilo tried to calm his mom, who was still shaken by the revelation that the family's magic was dying. "It's okay, Mommy. Take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out." Mirabel ran hard into the wall, causing Peppa to jump at the impact and zap Camilo with a bolt of lightning. As Mirabel recovered from the collision with the wall, she closed in on Bruno. "Stop! Stop!" she shouted. Suddenly, he jumped a chasm in their path. Mirabel stopped, unsure that she could make the leap across. It looked very deep and very wide. Bruno ran ahead. He was getting away. Mirabel summoned all of her courage and leaped. She made it, but as soon as she landed, the ground crumbled under her. She barely caught the edge, but her fingers were slipping and losing their grip. She looked down at a deep, endless pit of darkness. "No, no, help!" she cried. "Casita, Casita, help me!" Her fingers could no longer hold on, and she began to fall. Suddenly, her hand was grabbed in midair by Bruno. He pulled Mirabel up onto her feet. She was now face to face with her infamous Tio Bruno. At first glance, he appeared sinister and ominous, but as a light fell across his face, Mirabel saw that he wasn't at all what she had imagined or what she'd been told. He was thin and lanky, but he also looked like he belonged to her family. He looked like a madrigal. He was one of them. "You are very sweaty," he said to Mirabel. Mirabel was shocked by his soft voice, but before she could respond, the floor beneath Bruno collapsed. "Oh no!" Mirabel exclaimed. He fell through, plummeting to the floor just a few feet beneath them both. Bruno looked around, shocked to be standing. "Huh?" he said. Then he took a long look at Mirabel. "Bye." He just turned and walked away. Chapter 13. What? No, hold on. Mirabel hurried after him. She followed him through the back of the house, where they were surrounded by pipes, old furniture, and relics. As Mirabel struggled to keep up with him, she noticed that he behaved in an extremely superstitious manner. Bruno avoided stepping on any cracks. He tossed salt over his shoulder, and he made repetitive actions, all to avoid some unknown disaster. But Mirabel had more important things to ask her long-lost uncle about. Wait, why was I in your vision? What does it mean? Mirabel asked as Bruno kept moving. Is it why you came back? Bruno stopped and tapped the wall. Uno, dos, tres, 4, 5, 6. He held his breath. Mirabel watched him curiously. Tio Bruno? Mirabel said. He walked past a set of pipes and exhaled. Uno, dos, tres, 4, 5, 6. You were never supposed to see the vision. No one was, little salt. He threw salt behind his back, hitting Mirabel. But Mirabel sputtered, spitting out the salt. Bruno whistled. My 3 whistles. Spun around. That feels better. That's better. He mumbled to himself. So he's doing a lot of stuff that are just kind of superstitious stuff. Nonsense, really. Just for good luck. That's like throwing salt over your shoulder is supposed to be for good luck. You probably never heard of that before. That's kind of an old-fashioned superstition. Maybe whistling 3 times as well. Mirabel continued to follow him. She needed answers. They passed an area with tons of cracks that had been patched up. Mirabel's eyes widened in awe of the work. Wait, have you been in here patching the cracks? Bruno stopped and took a long look at the patchwork. Oh, that? No, I'm too scared to go near those things, Bruno answered. All the patching is done by Hernando. Hernando? Who's Hernando? And that's what Mirabel asks. Who is Hernando? Tio Bruno pulled on his hood. I am Hernando, and I am scared of nothing, he said in a low voice. Then he removed the hood. It's actually me, he said, using his normal voice. Then he plopped a bucket over his head. I am Jorge. I make the spackle. So he has all these disguises. Mirabel stared at him, realizing that Tio Bruno might have completely lost his mind. How long have you been back? She asked gently. Bruno looked at Mirabel and then at the rat on his shoulder, as if debating with it about how to answer. Mirabel looked around and noticed the weird odds and ends of a home here behind the walls. There were knickknacks and family heirlooms. It hit Mirabel like a bolt of lightning. You never left, she blurted. Well, I left my tower, which was, a lot of stairs, and in here, I'm kitchen adjacent, plus free entertainment. Bruno motioned to a makeshift rat theater he had made with cardboard cutouts that the rats poked their faces through to get to the food on the other side. Unknowingly, they performed little plays. What do you like? Sports, game show? Telenovels? The love that could never be? Bruno rattled on. I don't understand. Bruno gestured to his homemade rat theater. Well, see, what happened is she's his aunt, but she has amnesia, so she can't remember that she's his aunt. It's like a forbidden kind of... So Bruno's telling her about the plot of some novel. He really is kind of crazy. Poor Bruno. Mirabel pushed away the cardboard theater to get Bruno to focus. I don't understand why you left, but didn't leave. Bruno looked down and shifted uncomfortably. Oh, well, the mountains around Encanto are pretty tall, and like I said, free food, and so he's kind of stammering as to why he just pretended to leave, but he didn't leave. Mirabel saw a shaft of light coming through the wall. She followed it and peered through to discover the Madrigal family dining room on the other side. On his side, Bruno had placed a lonely table and a chair for one. Mirabel's heart dropped. She looked up at him with the sad realization that it was his way of still being part of the family dinner. He had never wanted to leave them. Something pushed him out because he kept coming up with these predictions, these prophecies that came true. There he is. Here's Bruno. Bruno looked away, embarrassed. My gift wasn't helping the family, he said sadly, but I love my family. I just don't know how to. He met Mirabel's gaze. It dawned on her that both of them were so alike in so many ways. She loved her family too, but often felt unseen and unworthy. Bruno shook off the sadness. Anyway, I think you should go because, well, actually, I don't have a good reason. I'm just getting uncomfortable. See, Bruno's used to being alone, so he's kind of uncomfortable with Mirabel asking him a bunch of questions. Mirabel moved closer to Bruno to really look at him. Her eyes were opened. Now she knew that he had never meant to harm the family. All those stories that her family had told, they simply didn't see what she could. She pressed on. Why was I in your vision, Tio Bruno? He gave her a look that suggested he doubted she would understand, but she knew exactly how he felt. She didn't have a gift like he did, but somehow she was hurting the family and not helping. Maybe the vision had answers. I just wanted to make the family proud of me, just once, Mirabel said softly. But if I should stop, if I'm hurting our family, just tell me. Bruno looked at her. He wasn't sure if he should reveal his deep secret. I can't tell you. Mirabel let out a frustrated sigh and looked away. Because I don't know. Bruno grabbed the shards from his pocket and assembled them. I had this vision the night you didn't get your gift, he explained. Abuela worried about the magic, so she begged me to look into the future, to see what it meant. As he talked, Bruno drifted back to that fateful night. Oh, this is the night then when Mirabel didn't get any magic power. His memories played out in the glowing green shards. And I saw our house breaking, the magic in danger, and then I saw you. But the vision was different and it would change, and there was no one answer, no clear fate, like your future was undecided. But I knew how it was going to look. I knew how it was going to look because I'm Bruno and everyone would assume the worst. So Mirabel now realized it was Bruno who had smashed the vision. Because he thought it was going to be a bad vision. He didn't want anyone to see it and possibly used it against her. He'd been doing her a favor. I don't know how things will go, but my guess, whatever's happening, the cracks, the magic, the fate of our entire family, it's going to come down to you. Me? Mirabel said with wonder. Maybe the vision didn't mean she'd destroy the house and the magic. Maybe it meant she'd save it. Yeah, Bruno said, when he looked up at her with a shrug. But you dug up the vision and showed the family anyway, so who knows? Maybe you do wreck everything. Mirabel's face dropped as her hope crumbled. Bruno grabbed a cup of coffee, pulled a rat out of it, and drank from it. Oh my gosh, there was a rat in the cup of coffee. Or you didn't. It's a mystery. That's why my visions are... He made a raspberry nose. It means his visions are not any good anymore. Tio Bruno put an arm around her shoulders and walked her to a door. Look, if I could help any more, I would, but what next is up to you. He ushered Mirabel out into the empty space between the walls of her house and shut the door behind her. Mirabel stood stunned. Tio Bruno had said the vision was unreadable. He said it would consistently change. Everything is undecided. No clear fate. Mirabel thought long and hard about this, but then she ran through the walls. She heard her family's anguished voices. It was supposed to be perfect. I hate her, Isabel cried. Luisa's a mess. Her gift is completely gone, Julieta exclaimed. How do we even know the Encanto is still safe? Tio Felix asked. Is she going to make me lose my magic? Camilo whined. Mirabel was in that vision for a reason. What else could it mean? Abuela Amo's voice bellowed over the rest. Oh, they think the vision means that Mirabel is the reason why they're losing their magic. Mirabel wasn't ready to give up. So what if the whole family thought she was trying to destroy the magic? Their preoccupation with her was keeping them from seeing the whole picture. There was still a way to save the miracle and prove her worth to the family. An idea came to her. Determined, she stepped back through the door, and she wasn't going to let Bruno push her out this time. Good for her. Okay. Well, that was chapter 12 and chapter 13. So next time we are going to pick up with chapter 14 and see we're about 3/4 of the way through the book, maybe a little bit more. Okay, that's all for now, girls. Bye-bye.